If you guys are looking to buy some cheap and reliable MT, head on over to aola.com and use code YBC at checkout for a discount. Yo, what's good YouTube? It's YBC and I am back bringing another video, and in this video I am going to be doing the ultimate Galaxy Opal tier list ranking in NBA 2K20 Myteam. Before we hop into the video and everything, if you guys could do me a real quick favor and drop a like on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button. I try my best to upload my team videos every single day. This video right here is going to be the first tier list I do of the entire year. There are a lot of people who do tier list videos, like Logic Looks, DBG, even my homie Dom in the Madden community. A lot of people who I know do these tier list videos, and I wanted to do one myself, honestly. The type of tier list video this one right here is going to be is me ranking every single buyable Galaxy Opal in the game. In a token market, on an auction block, and in collection, guys, every single Galaxy Opal that you could purchase is going to be ranked in these tiers. So with that being said, if you guys do want to see more tier list rankings videos like these, let me know down below in the comment section which type you guys want to see next. Whether you guys want me to rank all the buyable pink diamonds, top cards under the 100,000 MT, the price range of 50 to 75,000 MT, doesn't really matter to me, guys. I do want to start putting more tier list videos like this on the channel, so let me know down below in the comment section which ones you guys do want to see next. And the comment with the most likes will likely be the one I do next. So hopping straight into it right here, as y'all can see on this tier list, we have 6 total tiers. The S tier, which is the top tier, A, B, C, D, and F. And in case you guys don't really know how this works, essentially it is just like grades in school. A, B, C, and D, and F, these right here are grades, and the S is the top of the line elite tier. So for those of you guys who are wondering how good your Galaxy Opals are on your team, you guys have came to the right place. And for those of you guys who are thinking about upgrading your team and buying another Galaxy Opal, you guys have also came to the right place, because not only am I going to be ranking these cards right here from S to F, I'm also going to be telling you guys, in my opinion, whether or not the card is worth buying or not. Our first player right here that we're going to be ranking is this Galaxy Opal Kyrie Irving card, and I'm going to be putting him right here in the D tier. I don't think that this Kyrie Irving card right here is bad in the F, but he's not too good, I feel like, to be in the C. I think he's in the D, guys. Slow jumper, can't really dunk that well in the D tier in my opinion, and honestly I don't think that he is worth buying. Next up, we have this Mark Eaton card right here, who you do get for completing the Frostbite collection. I think he is an F, guys. This man right here can't shoot, and I don't even think he has 20 Hall of Fame badges. This card right here is not really good at all. Next up, we have Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to put Donovan Mitchell right here in the C tier. I think Donovan Mitchell is a really good all-around card, but honestly, guys, he is not at that elite point guard level yet. Next up, we have Prime VIP Dirk Nowitzki, and in my opinion, this card right here is a D card. He can't really play defense that well, and he has a pretty slow jumper. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Eddie Jones. I'm putting Galaxy Opal Eddie Jones right here in the B tier. I think that he is a really good card all around. No flaws really at all. Cash money jump shot. I think that he is worth the price. I think that he's worth the pickup for his price as well. He's only going for like around, I think, 100 to 120,000 MT. Next up, we have Prime Kevin Durant. I put his Prime Kevin Durant card right here in the A tier. Honestly, there's not much difference between this KD and the new Adaptation KD. They're pretty much the exact same card. Really, the only difference is that Adaptation KD comes with like 10 more Hall of Fame badges, and obviously he can play the point guard position. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Carmelo Anthony. I'm putting Galaxy Opal Carmelo Anthony as well in the A tier alongside KD. These two cards are here pretty much, honestly, the exact same cards all around. And I'm also putting Opal Melo in the A tier over the B tier because they changed Melo's jump shot. If 2K not changed Melo's jump shot, honestly, I'll put him back where he belongs in the B tier. But because he got an upgrade, he is getting himself placed in the A tier. Next up, we have this Galaxy Opal Jerry Stackhouse. I'm going to be putting him right here in the C tier. I think that he is a pretty good card all around. Not really any flaws in him, but honestly, not elite, and honestly a card that I don't think is worth picking up. Next up, we have Victor Oladipo. I'm going to place this Oladipo in the B tier. I think Victor Oladipo is a very great card all around. I think he's definitely worth picking up for the price range of however much he's going for on auction block. I'm pretty sure he's going for a buy now. Next up is Galaxy Opal Gordon Hayward. I think that this Opal Hayward card right here is in the B tier as well. 6'8", half shooting guard, half small forward. Great height, great size for that position. And he has great animations as well, guys. He just came out last week, so considering he's a brand new Opal, he's a really good card. He belongs in the B tier in my opinion. Moving on to the next Opal, and he is this Galaxy Opal Rashard Lewis. He, I think, belongs in the A tier. I think he's a good card like Melo and KD. but I don't think he is worth it. He goes for right now, I think 1.7 million MT. I don't think that he is worth the price at all. But he is a good card though. Don't get me wrong, it's a good card. But for 1.7 million MT on auction block, he's way, way, way too expensive. And now moving along to Chris Bosh right here. Chris Bosh belongs in the A tier. All around big man, cheesy jump shot, great animations. I think he's a great card to pick up, and he belongs in the A tier. Our first center that we're placing in the A tier. Next up, we have Dikembe Mutombo. Because Dikembe Mutombo did get an Evo update, I'm going to be placing him right here in the A tier, guys. If Dikembe Mutombo did not get an Evo update, he probably would be around the F/D range. But because he has an Evo update, guys, 2K gave him range extender and a super high 3-ball. Mixed with the fact that he gets speed boost, he's one of the best big man defenders in the game. Dikembe belongs in the A tier, in my opinion. Next up, we have Grant Hill. I think Grant Hill right here belongs in the B tier. I think Grant Hill, honestly, is a clone of Gordon Hayward. But I don't think Grant Hill is worth 750 tokens. There are too many better opals in the token market, in my opinion. Next up right here is this Jimmy Buckets card, aka Jimmy Butler. I am going to be placing him in the A tier. I think this Jimmy Butler card right here is one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire game. And he also does stand at 6'8" at the shooting guard position, which is a great height and a great size for that shooting guard position. Alongside that, he does come with a cash money jump shot and great animations. All around, he is a very, very elite card. And I do think that he is also worth picking up for his price range. I think he's going for like around 100 to 150-ish thousand MT. I think that right there is a good price for Jimmy Buckets. Next up right here, we have this Larry Keaton card. I am going to be placing him right here in the C tier. Larry Keaton is like a clone of Scottie Pippen with a beat-up jumper. In my opinion, guys, his jumper is extremely hard to time and green. Other than that, though, he's a pretty good card all around, though, so he belongs, in my opinion, in the C tier. And I do think that he's worth picking up as well, guys, for his price because, like I said, he's a clone of Scottie P. Next up, we have Patrick Ewing. This Patrick Ewing card right here belongs in the F tier. This Patrick Ewing card right here is terrible. If you have him, sell him immediately, guys. In my opinion, Patrick Ewing has like the second worst big man jumper in the entire game. Arguably the worst big man jumper in the entire game next to Mark Eaton, guys. Like I said, the second. He's terrible, guys, and there's no other way to put it. Next up, we have Demar Derozan. I think he belongs in the A tier. Demar Derozan is literally a clone of Galaxy Opal Tracy Mcgrady. There's no doubt about it. And for 750 tokens, I think that he is worth the price in the token market, and he is one of the best token market cards, in my opinion, in the game. Next up is Antoine Jamison, and I think he belongs in the B tier. I think Antoine is a really good card all around. Not really any flaws in him, just a really, really good card. So I think that really, really good card range belongs in the B range. Next up, we have Rudy Gobert right here. I think Rudy Gobert does belong in the D category. He's a little bit better than the F, a little bit better than Ewing, a little bit better than Eaton. But Gobert can't shoot, and if you're a big man right now in June, late June, in my team, you need to be able to shoot, and it's that simple. Next up, we have this Gallo Amari Stoudemire card. I'm going to be placing him in the A tier. I think Amari is a really, really good card, and for 750 tokens, I think that he is worth the price in the token market. I think that he is a top 4, top 3 borderline token market card in the game. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Andrei Kirilenko from the Flash promo. I think that this card right here does belong in the A range. Kirilenko is a really, really good card all around, base 11, just like Antoine Jamison. But in my opinion, Kirilenko is a much better defender than Antoine Jamison, so he's ahead of him at the A range. And I do think Kirilenko is also worth the price, guys. He's only going for like around 70K, 80K, maybe around that range. He is a W for his price. Next up, we have this Dirk Nowitzki card right here. Out of position shooting guard. I think this card right here does belong in the B range. Next up right here, we have Nate Thurman. I think Nate Thurman does belong in the D range as well. He's a good defender, but it goes back to what I'm saying about Gobert and Ewing and Eaton. He can't really shoot at all, and he has a pretty bad jumper. Next up is this Galaxy Opal Lamar Odom card. He belongs in the A range, in my opinion. He is honestly a clone of Kirilenko. He's just left-handed, and it's as simple as that. They both have base 11. They're great cards, and I feel like Kirilenko and Odom are both worth their value on an auction block, and I think that they are good pickups. Next up, we have this Galaxy Opal Jonathan Isaac. He belongs in the S tier, and this card right here is the first card that is going to be put in the S tier. Galaxy Opal Jonathan Isaac essentially is Galaxy Opal Giannis with a better jump shot, and it is that simple. Next up, we have Draymond Green right here. I'm going to be putting Draymond Green in the B tier right here, guys. Borderline A, but in my opinion, he's a B. Draymond is a great all-around card, but I don't think that offensively he is good as cards like DeMar and Melo and KD, so in my opinion, Dre's at the B range. Next up is Clyde Drexler from the Buzzer Beater promo. I think he belongs in the C range. This Opal Clyde card right here has terrible animations, but he does have a lot of juiced up attributes and badges, which is the main reason why, guys, I feel like he's going to be in the C category. That being said, I don't think that he is worth picking up. Next up is Gallo, Joel Embiid, and I think this card right here does belong in the S range, guys. I think that he is a top 5 big man in the game right now. He essentially is a clone of Glitch, Gallo, Shaq, and it is low-key a stretch to put him in the S over the A. A little bit of a stretch, but I feel like he deserves to be in the S, guys. He has arguably the best big man jumper in the game. He can't speed boost, like I said, guys. Body frame of Shaq, pretty much a clone of Glitch, Gallo, Shaq. Next up right here is Gallo, Ben Simmons, 6'10", guys, point guard. He belongs in the S category, Hall of Fame limitless range. This man right here is a cheese ball. Next up is Glitch, Flash, Tracy McGrady. I think he belongs in the S tier as well, guys. He's T-Mac, he's a point guard. He's the newest T-Mac out, 50+ Hall of Fame badges. The dude is elite and one of the best cards in the entire game. Next up right here is Opal Chris Webber. I think this Opal Chris Webber card right here does belong in the B range. I think that putting him in the B category is great, and considering Chris Webber right now is a buy now, only for like around 40 to 50,000 MT, that is a great card to pick up for those guys who are on a budget. Next up is Gallo, Gary Payton. I think Opal Gary Payton does belong in the B range. 2K fixed his jump shot, so it is a cash money jump shot. And he is one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire game. He's going for a buy now, I think, right now. So consider he's going for a buy now, and he has tons of Hall of Fame badges and great animations. He is definitely a card that is worth picking up. Next up is Glitch Flash Shaq. I think he belongs in the S category, like I was comparing Embiid to Shaq. They're both pretty much the exact same card. Obviously Shaq is a little bit better, but I feel like they still belong in the same category of the S tier. Next up right here is Galaxy Opal out of position Kevin Durant. I think he belongs in the S tier. Gets Opal KD card right here, slightly better than another KD card. As I was talking about, he does have plus 10 more Hall of Fame badges, and a little bit of attributes that is more, plus 1, plus 2 here and there. And also, guys, this KD card right here is 6'10", while this KD is 6'9", so there is a little bit of an advantage to this out of position KD than the other prime Kevin Durant. And now moving on to this Flash MJ card. I think that he is in the C tier. This Opal MJ card right here, I feel like is a very outdated card, and honestly, it's not worth picking up for his price. And then now moving on to Oscar Robertson. I think the Big O belongs in the B category. I think the Big O is pretty much just as good as Gary Payton. I feel like those two cards are great comparisons to each other. That being said, I don't think Oscar Robertson is worth picking up because Oscar does go for a lot of MT compared to Gary Payton. I feel like these two cards right here are the exact same two cards. Next up right here is Gallo, Magic Johnson from the Campus Legends promo. I think he belongs in the S tier. Honestly, him and Ben Simmons are nearly just as good as each other. Now moving on to Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard also does belong in the S tier. He is elite, and he is one of the best SG/SFs in the entire game. Next up right here is Bill Russell. I also think Bill Russell right here does belong in the S tier. Bill Russell, I feel like, is just as good as Gallo, Davis, and is a great card that is worth picking up for his price. I think that this Bill Russell card right here is going to be the cheapest S tier card that I do rank for this video. But now moving on to Opal LeBron James right here. I also think that he does belong in the S tier as well. He's one of the best cards in the entire game. And now moving on to Scottie Pippen. I also do feel like this Scottie Pippen card right here is in the S tier as well. Wow, we're going on like a little bit of a streak of these S tier cards. Opal Scottie Pippen, guys, I think is the best defender in the entire game. And he has literally every single attribute above a 95. He belongs in the S tier as well. Although, guys, when it comes to whether or not he's worth it, I don't think that he is worth locking in for over 2 million MT. Okay, guys, because I was running out of space on this S tier right here on this ranking, I just simply went to the template right here. So heading into the next template right here, we're now moving on to the next players. And next up right here, we have Opal Gold Cream. He belongs in the S tier, no doubt about it. I think that he is worth locking in. Opal Magic right here also does belong in the S tier as well, guys. He's a GOAT card. Same thing with Opal MJ right here, guys. GOAT card belongs in the S tier. Every single GOAT card belongs in the S tier. Now moving on to Elton Brand. I think this Elton Brand card right here does belong in the C range. He just came out today at the time I'm recording this video. He is a solid card all around, a very new card. But, I mean, he's solid. He's not really great. He's not bad. Just solid at a C range. Next up, we have D'Angelo Russell right here. I think D'Angelo Russell does belong in the B range right here. 6'5", just came out today. Great dunk animation, great three-pointer, great jumper as well, guys. He also, surprisingly, is a pretty good defender as well, so putting him in the B range, I feel like, is where he belongs. Next up is Alex English. I think this Alex English card right here does belong in the A range. He just came out today, and in my opinion, guys, he's a clone of Opal Melo. Next up, we have Gallo, Zach LaVine. I am going to be placing him in the the A range. This Opal Levine card right here is a clone of Tracy Mcgrady and Demar Derozan. He comes with the exact same jumper, and he can't play point guard, which is a massive W. So I put him in the A range, and I do think that he is worth 750 tokens. For those of you guys who are wondering and thinking about buying him off the token market. Trae Young right here, I think he belongs in the F tier. I honestly don't think that this card right here is good, and I don't think he's worth picking up at all. He can't dunk, and he can't play defense at all. Now moving on to Bradley Beal. I think Opal Beal belongs in the B range. I think that Beal has one of the best jumpers in the entire game, but other than catching and shooting and playmaking a little bit, he can't really do much else. So I think he's in the B range right here. And I love Bradley Beal, guys, and me putting him in the B range hurts. So just letting you guys know, I am always unbiased, even though I love Bradley Beal. And now moving on to, this is Jamal Crawford. I think Jamal Crawford does belong in the B range. I think that he's a pretty good card all around. I think he's kind of like a clone of D'Angelo Russell. Great dribbling and great jumper as well, and he can dunk as well. Now moving on to Allen Iverson. I think Allen Iverson belongs in the B range, and that is just because of his height. If he was a little bit taller, he probably would be in the A range, but considering he's super short, you know, I think he belongs in the B range. Essentially, Iverson and Trae Young are like the exact same card, but Iverson can dunk and he's more athletic. Next up, we have Gallo Steve Francis. I'm going to put him right here in the B tier. Every single year in 2K, Steve Francis has crazy glitchy animations, and I do think this year as well, 2K juiced him up animations-wise. Tons of Hall of Fame badges, tons of great attributes as well. I think he's one of the only spotlight cards, in my opinion, that is worth buying. Next up, we have Gallo Devin Booker, and I'm going to be placing Devin Booker right here in the C tier, guys. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of this Devin Booker card. I'm not really a fan of his jump shot this year, and he's not really that athletic. A lot of people like the Devin Booker card. I myself honestly don't. I don't think that he's worth picking up. Next up is Gallo Tony Parker, and I'm going to be placing this card right here in the A range. He did get an Evo update the other day, in which now he has 50 total Hall of Fame badges. Similar jump shot to that base 98. He is a very cheesy and glitchy point guard. Although I don't think that he is worth picking up, but he is still a great card. Now moving on to this Taco Fall card, I think that this Taco Fall does belong in the A range once he's fully maxed out. Evolved, he's 7'5" guy with range center, cash money, big man jump shot. A range, no doubt about it. Next up is Chauncey Billups. I think this Chauncey card belongs in the C range. Pretty good defender, pretty good player all around, but honestly, this Spotlight Sim card and most Spotlight Sims really aren't all that, and most Spotlight Sims are honestly not worth it. For Peja Stojakovic, I think he belongs in the C range. Other than him catching and shooting, he can't really do much other than that, and I don't think he's worth it based off that note. Next up, we have Danny Granger. I'm going to place Danny Granger right here in the B range. I don't think this Granger card right here, animation-wise, deserves to be in the A range. He can't really speed boost, and he doesn't come with really any cheesy dribble moves. And honestly, I feel like he's just as good of a card as Peja Stojakovic. The only difference is that he's a bit more athletic than Peja. Now moving on to Alex Caruso. I think Alex Caruso does belong in the B tier right here. Alex Caruso is like the exact same card as D'Angelo Russell, just slightly a bit more athletic, but not that much more athletic for me to put him in the A range. And now moving on to this Domantas Sabonis card. I think this Sabonis card right here is a D category type of card because his jump shot is pretty slow and he's not really that good of a card, just plain and simple, guys. And I don't think that he is worth it either. For Gallo Kyle Lowry, I think he belongs in a D range. I feel like this card right here is a clone of Kyrie Irving, which I put in a D range in a last tier list. Now moving on to Steve Nash right here. I think Steve Nash does belong in the C tier. I think that he's a little bit better than Kyle Lowry, but not much. For Ray Allen right here, I think he belongs in the D tier, guys. This Opal Ray Allen card right here does come with a nice jumper, but only 20 Hall of Fame badges. And considering you have 20 Hall of Fame badges in June, you either belong in the F or D range. And now moving on to this Opal Stephen Curry card. I think Opal Steph belongs in the A category right here. I think he's just as good of a card as Tony Parker. I think he's a little bit better because he's a little bit taller and can dunk a lot more and has better dunking animations than Tony P. But I still, I think, feel like belong in the same tier at the end of the day. Now moving on to this Gallo Michael Porter Jr. I think Opal MPJ belongs in the S tier right here. He is just as good, I feel like, as the out of position Kevin Durant card. And borderline just as good as Jonathan Isaac. He has a very glitchy body frame and very glitchy animations. When it comes to Corey Maggette, I feel like he belongs in the A range right here. I feel like he's just as good as this Galaxy Opal Alex English card. Next up, we have Opal Kyle Kuzma. I think this card right here does belong in the B category right here. Surprisingly, 2K made this Opal Kuzma card a really solid card, so I'm going to put him in a B range right here for this video. Next up is Mitch Richmond. I think he belongs in the B tier as well. I think he's a very similar card to Bradley Beal, where other than him catching and shooting, he can't really do much else, honestly. For this Opal Dwight Howard card, I think he belongs in the C range. He doesn't really have that good of a jump shot, and he is a pretty outdated card in my opinion. and it's as simple as that. I don't think that he is worth locking in and spending a lot of MT locking in that leap year collection for. Don't do it. I don't think it's worth it. Next up is Gallo, Opal, Jalen Rose. I think Opal, Jalen Rose does belong in the A tier right here. He has a great height for that point guard position. He also does have a cheesy jump shot and very cheesy animations. Essentially, this card right here is like a clone of Galaxy Opal, Justice Winslow, if Justice Winslow had a card. And now moving on, Penny Hardaway. I think fully evolved Penny Hardaway does belong in the A tier right here, although I don't think that he is worth 750 tokens. Penny Hardaway has great animations, but there are a lot of point guards that you can get for cheap. That is what Penny Hardaway can do in my opinion. And now moving on to Kevin Love. I think this Opal Kevin Love card right here belongs in the B range. He's just simply a pick and pop and big man with a cheesy jump shot, not much more than that. I think this Opal Hero card right here belongs in the S tier, and I think that he is a great card that is worth picking up. Base 11, Pro 2, cheesy dribble glitching moves. He is a great card all around. Next up we have Opal Thon. I think he also belongs in the S tier as well. He is one of the best point guard / small forwards in the entire game, in which that's the two positions he can play. 7 feet tall guys, great animations, very, very cheesy player. Next up we have Galaxy Opal Lonzo Ball. I think Opal Lonzo Ball should be in the B tier. All around Lonzo is a really, really good card, but not good enough I feel like as Penny, not good enough I feel like as Tony Parker. Next up we have Opal Vince. I think Opal Vince also does belong in the B tier right here. For Galaxy Opal Yao Ming, I think he does belong in the B tier right here. He is a clone of Taco Fall, but this Yao Ming card right here cannot have range, in which Taco Fall does have range. So he's a whole entire tier ahead of I feel like Yao Ming. Next up is John Moran. I think John Moran belongs in the A tier right here. I feel like he is a clone of Zach LaVine, just a couple inches shorter. Next up for Derrick Rose right here, I also think that he deserves to be in the A tier as well. I feel like this card right here is a clone of John Morant. So with that being said, I don't think John Morant is worth 750 tokens because you can get Derrick Rose right here for cheap, a lot cheaper than what 750 tokens would be MT wise. So stay away from John Morant, get yourself a Rose. I think Rose is a lot more worth it than Ja in the token market. For Jeremy Lin, I think he belongs in the A tier, and Jeremy Lin again is a clone of Derrick Rose and John Morant. Surprisingly, they gave Jeremy Lin crazy glitchy dunk animations. So yeah, he belongs in the A tier with these guys. Next up is Kristaps Porzingis. I think Kristaps Porzingis belongs in the S tier. He is a clone of Bobo, and I think Bobo and Porzingis are both worth it to buy off the auction block. Next up, we have Tracy Mcgrady card right here from the Leap Year promo. I think he belongs in the S tier. Honestly, there's not much difference between the glitch version of T-Mac and this version of T-Mac, other than the glitch version having 10 more Hall of Fame badges. But other than that, guys, they're pretty much literally the exact same card. Moving along right here to another tier list, guys. We have about 20 more cards to rank, and I have to go to another tier list right here because the other tier list, the other two I did, got filled up as well. So next up, when it comes to Luka right here, I think Luka does belong in the S tier. He is one of the best point guards in the entire game. There's no doubt about it. For Jason Tatum right here, I think he belongs in the A tier. A lot of you guys will probably disagree with me and say that he should be in the S. But I feel like this Tatum card right here is just as good as the Opal KD and Opal Melo I have in the A tier. And now moving on to Steven Jackson. I feel like Steven Jackson does belong in the B range right here. Slightly worse than Tatum in my opinion. For Dave Robinson, I think Dave Robinson belongs in the S tier once he's fully evolved, maxed out. I feel like this dude right here is a top 5 center in the entire game. And I do think that he is worth it at a token market. I actually think that he is the best card from a token market. For Opal Frazier, I think that he does belong in the B tier. I think Opal Frazier is one of the most underrated cards in the entire game. Great jump shot, great animations. I think this card right here for its price is a W and is worth picking up. Next up, we have this Sarunas card right here, a legend from the Golden State Warriors. I think that he belongs in the C tier. He has some pretty good animation all around, but honestly, he's not elite in my opinion. He's just simply a pretty average Opal at this stage in the game. For Klay Thompson, I think that he belongs in the B range right here. He's a great catch and shooter, great defender. But back to what I was saying about the B tiers from the last list, like Beal and Vince Carter. That pretty much the only thing they could do is just simply catch and shoot. Same thing with Mitch Richmond, guys, and that's pretty much it. Good defender as well, though, guys. And now moving on along to Shawn Kemp. I feel like Shawn Kemp does belong in the A range. Same thing with Blake Griffin, guys. I feel like Blake Griffin and Shawn Kemp are clones of each other, and I think these two cards right here are worth picking up off the auction block. For Pascal Siakam, some of you guys might disagree with me, but I do think this card right here does belong in the S tier. He has one of the best jump shots in the entire game, and he can also dribble glitch, I do believe. And I'm moving on to Bob Pettit. I think Bob Pettit does belong in the S tier. This card right here is a clone of Kirilenko and all those other cheesy base 11 cards, as well as Odom as well, another clone of Odom. But I don't think he's worth in the token market, guys. I think that you can get Kirilenko and some of the other cards off the auction block for buy now, right? And spending 750 tokens for Bob Pettit. Next up, we have Gervin, who I think does belong in the B range right here. Really good and underrated card all around. For this Opal Larry Bird from the Buzzer Beater promo, I think he does belong in the B range, and he does lack athleticism, which is the main reason why he's in the B range and not the A range. For Jason Kidd, I think he does belong in the C range right here. He's a pretty decent card all around, but honestly, nothing crazy at all. For Josh Smith, I think Josh Smith does belong in the A tier right here. A lot of people will probably disagree and think that Josh Smith belongs in the B or C, but I feel like this Opal Josh Smith is, again, one of the best defenders in the entire game and has crazy glitchy dunking animations. Next up, we have Bob McAdoo. This dude right here is a piece of trash. I think he belongs in the D tier. Can't really shoot that well. Pretty undersized, big man. For Buzzer Beater Kareem, I think he does belong in the B tier. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card. He can't really shoot. He doesn't have range. He doesn't really have that many shooting badges as well. And honestly, the kind of a little bit of an outdated Opal at this stage in the game. And now moving on to the last card right here, which is the Kirilenko out of position. I think he belongs in the S tier right here. He's a little bit better than the other base level version of Kirilenko. And I think he does belong right here in the S tier. And that right there, guys, is the last card we ranked in this video. And here is, guys, the official tier list of the best, no, not the best, every single buyable Galaxy Opal in the game. Oh boy, guys, this video right here took a very long time to record. I think right now I'm approaching the hour mark in total for this video. So yeah, this right here, guys, is going to conclude the ultimate Galaxy Opal tier rankings list in NBA 2K20 Myteam. I said ultimate because, like I said, I literally ranked every single Opal that you can get off of the auction block and token market and lock in for collections, which is, on this list right here, guys, was a grand total of 106 Opals. Over 100 Opals, guys, we did rank in this video. So that right there now, guys, is going to complete this video. I hope this video right here has helped you determine whether or not some Opals are worth it in my team and which ones to pick up for your team. And just simply, you know, kind of for you guys who are wondering how good your cards are, your Opals, this video, I hope, has helped you do that as well. And if it did, make sure you guys go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button. Let me know down below in the comment section as well, guys, if you guys disagree with anybody on this list. I love reading your response to the comment section. So with that being said, I will catch all of you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the support. And as usual and as always, it's YBC and I'm out. Peace.